Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. If you haven't been to my channel, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, I'm really excited to do this one. The prompt that came through is, you are whole. How can you better protect your boundaries? So my intention for this reading is to help you shift your perspective on boundaries and also give you insight on the ways that you can feel more whole within your being, feel more rooted and integrated within your being. Because the more you are more integrated, the more you feel more safe and sound in your body, the more those energetic boundaries kind of naturally fulfill themselves. And I'm also doing an infinite prayer session for this. So the infinite prayer is a space you can enter into and receive a powerful energy healing transmission. So infinite prayer sessions are correlated with the readings. So for instance, there will be prompts that come through at the end of each reading that I infuse into the infinite prayer session. So there will be a link down below if you end up feeling called to that space. I also want to mention, for a limited time, there will be 50% off your first month of Patreon. So the infinite prayer session off of this YouTube reading will be offered in Patreon for a small price. But if you choose instead to do the overflow membership for half off, you're actually saving a little bit of money, and you're getting a plethora, like a treasure trove of readings and infinite prayer sessions. And if you feel like the Patreon is resonant for you and you want to stay, you can stay. But if not, you can cancel before the month's over and you still saved money and you got access to this infinite prayer session. There will be a small 2 to 3 day window every single month to get that 50% off. So if you miss this one, don't worry. Go ahead and just subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell icon to be reminded of when my readings come up. And once a month, there will be a reading that offers that 50% off. So there will always be a small little window of chance. So just stay subscribed if you feel resonant with my readings. And yeah, let's go ahead and just get into the reading. So we have beautiful Greer daisies today, and you can choose from group number 1, group number 2, or group number 3, and I will see you in the reading. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to your reading. So for today's reading, the prompt that came through is, you are whole. How can you better protect your boundaries? So my intention with this is to help you align to the wholeness within, to the completeness within, and in doing so, your boundaries naturally fulfill themselves. And for this reading in particular, this is my more in-depth reading of the month that I offer an infinite prayer session. So the infinite prayer is a powerful energy healing transmission that is inspired by the reading itself. So at the end of your reading, there will be some prompts, some inspiration that comes through for what I'm going to infuse into the infinite prayer session. And if you feel called to that, please feel free to that. There will be a link down below for that. Also, for a limited time, there will be 50% off your first month of the Little Flower Patreon membership. So if you choose the Overflow membership, you will have access to this infinite prayer. And it will actually be more inexpensive to get the 50% off your first month of membership if you feel called to this infinite prayer session. And then you will also have access to an ever-growing sanctuary of beautiful infinite prayer sessions and in-depth pick a flower readings as well. So it's worth it to go ahead and do the trial. And then if you feel resonant with that space, you can stick around. But if you don't, you can cancel before the month's over and you save money still. So that is an option. There will be a code down below in order for you to do that, and it will be available until February 3rd, 2026. And if you miss this one, don't worry. Every single month, there will be a window of time where you can get 50% off your first month's Patreon. So just hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be reminded of when my readings come up so you don't miss that opportunity. So before we get into your reading, go ahead and listen to this short little intro about Patreon, and I will see you on the other side. Before we get into your reading, I'd like to invite you into the sacred portal to healing, alignment, and expansion that is the Little Flower Patreon. A key element that makes the Little Flower Patreon special is the infinite prayer. Using Reiki, prayer, intuitively guided affirmations, and a belief in miracles, I offer a powerful transmission each month with the intention to bring you into deeper resonance with your truest soul essence and most fulfilling path. Entering into the infinite prayer means remembering you've always held the key to the healing waters of your own soul. This is your safe and protected conduit to the divine. I simply hold the mirror. Tap into your own sacred, ever-flowing internal spring, always pure, always moving, always offering exactly what you need the moment you choose to dip your cup in. Return as often as you feel called to. Enter the Wellspring membership and receive access to an ever-growing sanctuary of soulful pick-a-flower readings and infinite prayer sessions. Each month, I tap in and channel a theme or prompt for 2 new in-depth readings, with one of those readings laying the foundation for what emerges in the infinite prayer. Join the Overflow membership and receive everything in Wellspring, plus access to every new extended infinite prayer session drawn from YouTube readings like this one from October 2025 on. If the Little Flower Patreon is calling to you, click the link in the description box below. If at any point during this reading you feel inspired to, feel free to like, subscribe, drop a flower emoji, and leave a comment. I'd love to know how things are resonating, or if you have any questions or suggestions for me. Now, back to your reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. So you chose group number 1, and I have chosen to use Gerbera daisies today. So typically Gerbera daisies symbolize innocence and joy, but in this instance, they called out to me and they had an intensity to them, and they did have a really strong protective vibe. The white ones in particular looked like eyeballs to me, and even as they were sitting in the vase in my room for a couple of days, they had such a strong presence. And the eyeballs and the fact that they're white are making me think of like protective eyes surrounding you, like protective angelic beings, guardian angels. And then the red flowers themselves feel more like ancestral energy, this really potent, pure, beautiful energy that's coming through to protect you. And also I love that this green is in the center, because that is just a color of the heart. And I'm thinking of Archangel Raphael for some reason right now too, so that he could be important for some of you. But let's go ahead and just get right into it. Let's see what your flower has to say off the bat, and then we will get into the cards. So Red Gerbera Daisy, what do you have to say to group number 1? We love you, we love you, we love you. We support you, we support you, we support you. We trust you, we trust you, we trust you. You have more support than you know, and you have more protection than you know. If you only aligned to the reality of the protection that exists within your being and surrounding you, you would never guess. You would never worry. You would never allow negative energies into your space out of fear of a porous energy space, out of a fear that you're taking on others' energies. You would know deeply and truly in your soul that you are already protected. It is a matter of aligning to that truth, because it is the truth. So a lot of times you could get caught up in your mind and in your fears, and in doing so, it creates the illusion of unsafety. But if you truly dug deep and listened to our voices, you would know just how protected you are, and just how loved you are, and how validated you are, how safe you are. So please know that in any time, you may tap into our love, tap into our guidance, tap into our protection, and know that you are safe. All right, so this really felt first and foremost, it felt like ancestors coming through and saying they're protecting you. It felt like familial love. And then beyond that, it felt like spirit guides and guardian angels. So take that as it resonates, and it could even be living family or chosen family. Take it as it resonates, but it's a really powerful message of you are protected and align to us, and know that we're here for you. So I'm going to put your daisy right up top here, and let's see what cards you got. So, and I didn't even think about this. I picked random stones, but you got to really, I think this is shungite. And shungite is actually a really powerful protector. So I'm going to actually keep the stones up here. This one, to be honest, I don't know what it is. It's like a gray brown color, but they can stay there too. I was just using them to prop up the lilies, but they feel like they want to be here. So your first card is number 25 with the Holy Mountain. And there's a mountain here with a sunrise or sunset, who knows? But there is a person meditating on top of the mountain. This feels like a victory and finding peace within a victory. So that's a positive omen for those of you who have been climbing your own personal mountain, climbing towards success in some way in your life. And it feels as though when you reach the top of the mountain, you are surrounded. If you can see, I'll make this a little bit clearer if you'd like to look at it. But if you see the meditator right there at the top of the mountain and then the sun, just look at that powerful orb around the meditator. That is you. That is you. And if you think of, even if you think of this as a representation of who you are, this mountain and you in the center of it, these being your roots and your connection to the earth, and this orb around you being your connection to the divine and your spirit and your soul and the protection of that. I mean, this emanates powerful protection, and it emanates, there's a message here that you have perfect purity in your soul. There is a light in your being that is untouchable by darkness. And the more you believe in that and the more you align to that, the more I keep getting this feeling of someone fighting with the energies around them, or even fighting with their own energies and feeling like they need to be like in a fight. They need to be in this like protective, like fight or flight, or this fear-based kind of like, I need to protect myself. I need to be on at all times. I need to, it's just like a fight, when the answer for you is simple. It's to align to the light within. And once you're aligned to that energy, it is protection inherent. So you won't feel the need to fight because you'll feel so immersed in the natural state of your being, which is protection itself and trust itself. So of course, we live on planet Earth, and of course we can't always be physically protected. It's just a fact of being human, having a human body, and living on this earth where we are walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Of course, there are risks. Of course, there are potential dangers. But this is this deep rest and trust in your truest soul nature, and knowing that, you know, the physical body is what's temporary and your soul is what's eternal. And the more you deepen into that knowledge, you deepen into that life force within your being, the more you truly trust. You truly trust your path. You trust your humanity. And you become more empowered to spread light in the world around you. So you are a powerful world changer because of your light. And simply existing in your light and aligning to your light is enough. So let's pull some more cards and see what else we get here. 25 reduces to 7, which is a really holy number as well. Let's do native spirit cards. I haven't used these forever. These are one of the first two. I think this was the second oracle deck I ever got, and they're really beautiful cards. Okay, we have White Buffalo. Wow, you're getting some pretty powerful cards. And Wounded Healer. Interesting. So White Buffalo is a Native American story that is akin to the story of Christ. I believe White Buffalo ushers in a time of grace and transformation, a heralding of something beautiful descending upon the earth and changing it forever. And Wounded Healer is someone who has traversed the darkness, come out the other side, and is able to use their experience to help heal others and guide others through their own dark nights of the soul. I'm going to pull a couple of more oracle cards from the Archangel Animal Oracle to get a little bit more context, because there's kind of a blankness, a stillness coming through. No words. Okay, so we have snake. I'm gonna have to kind of sandwich these all together. I didn't make a very big board space today. That's okay. And then we have ladybird, accept happiness and good fortune. And then the snake says, live according to your divine essence. Okay, so I'm almost getting my mindset around the word wounded healer flipped on its head. Because when I think about wounded healer, the idea of someone being wounded, it sounds like they're still stuck in the wound. Like you're still wounded, but you are somehow helping others through their wounds, through their darkness. But there's a message here that to be a wounded healer means to truly be healed and to not identify with your past wounds at all anymore. There is a shedding process you are meant to go through where you come out the other end feeling pure, feeling sacred in your being and in your body, and knowing that truth as a fixture of your soul. So you're no longer questioning your own character or your own identity. You're no longer questioning who you are. You no longer hold doubt in who you are. If you've been on a journey where you've traversed the darkness and it's made you question who you truly are at the core of you, you no longer will question that in your life. You'll be so deeply rooted in your identity as goodness, as love, that the darkness could never have that kind of grasp on you ever again. And the kind of healing that takes place in your body and being because of what you've gone through is profound and complete, and it makes you feel whole and powerful in ways that you never would have felt had you had not gone on the journey. I'm seeing ancestral wounding being cleared and being healed. So even if you think before, say you've had to walk a dark night of the soul, you've had to process something heavy. Even if you think, oh, I wish I could, because I understand this. I've been there where I have felt really good and really whole and really amazing. And then my whole world was turned upside down and it made me question who I was. And if you've been through that journey, I know what it feels like to think, I wish I could just go back to how I was before. I felt better about myself. I was more confident. I was more free. What did I do? Did I ruin something? Did I make a wrong move? How did I end up here? How did life go this route? But I'm here to tell you that it was always a part of your DNA. It's just you weren't aware of it before, so you had a different perception of yourself. But the more you unlock the deeper and deeper DNA of your soul, both the good, like the good and the quote bad, like nothing's bad, but the more you unlock the beautiful white light that exists as your heritage, as a human soul, we are of God. The more you unlock that in your being, the more the light that is revealed there casts onto the quote unquote like darker spaces that you'd already inherited, that had already been encoded within you. So it may seem like you're going backwards, but really you are just going deeper into your roots, into your cellular DNA, into the deepest depths of what is your soul. And this is meant to be an enriching experience, as terrifying or as scary or as uncomfortable it may feel while you're going through it. Ultimately, when you succeed, ultimately, when you face it, ultimately, when you decide to heal, when you decide to overcome, when you surrender to the light within, despite everything in you that wants to turn back, you become more of who you are. So do not be discouraged if you are walking through the dark, because I promise you, true fulfillment is yours if you stay steady on this path. And if you find true healing here, you've healed generations, and you've encoded into your being true healing in those spaces. And it is a collective healing, it is a universal healing. So when people interact with you, even if they cross your path and they need a similar healing to what you have accomplished within your own being, they will get that download or upgrade, however you want to say it. They will receive that by crossing through your energy field. And a lot of times that will happen. You will have people who pass through your world. Even if it's, you don't talk to them, like if you pass by someone at the grocery store or on the road, it will still be this energetic exchange that will be healing ultimately for everyone and purposeful for everyone. So you are meant, ultimately, we're kind of circling back around to my my original message, because this says accept happiness and good fortune. And we did mention climbing a mountain earlier and reaching towards success. So ultimately, you are meant to be fulfilled and happy. That is your true essence. That is your true mission, is healing, fulfillment, wholeness, peace. But you're also a human being on earth. And part of our journey is traversing the dark and shining light and compassion and love in those spaces, even when it is extremely hard to do that. You are a healer, and your inner work heals humanity. And you probably don't give yourself enough credit for that. So I just want to say that. But ultimately, this is a message of healing, and this is a message of where you're going. And where you're going is into complete healing and wholeness. The wound wouldn't have been opened if there wasn't a path forward to complete healing. I think a lot of people think that they can never be fully healed of certain mental ailments, physical ailments, emotional ailments. I keep saying ailments, I don't know why, but a lot of times people think well, I will always feel this way to some extent. But I'm here to tell you that you can heal completely. And, the timeline of that will look different for everyone. But I just don't want you to give up hope for healing, because complete healing of humanity is the truth, is what's meant to be. And with this white buffalo and it being akin to the Christ story, the Christ story is, it is done. It is complete. This is over. And just surrender to the divine, and that healing is complete. That can, the potential there. The potential for true healing is complete. So with us, it's kind of like a weird message, because with us being human, we experience delayed healing. It takes longer than we'd like a lot of times. And maybe some people never heal. But that doesn't mean that on a certain level, that healing isn't already complete. And that doesn't mean that when we move on from our human bodies, that potential for completeness just disappears. That's complete healing is where we're going, no matter what. So I think ultimately the message right here in this moment is don't give up. And I'm not saying you're not going to heal until after you die, but I'm just saying, like, because it's nuanced, because we are human. But I think there's nothing wrong with aligning with that truth, because I think that's an important truth. I think that's a beautiful thing to hope for and to believe in. And you're being called into that. You are meant for true fulfillment in this lifetime. You are meant for happiness in this lifetime. You are meant to feel rooted and grounded and knowing of who you are in this lifetime. Please know that. And believe, yes, believe in your complete healing. I keep wanting to, it's like I can't say that enough. I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot. So I cannot remember what this tarot deck is called. I'll look it up and I'll put it down below in the description. But it's kind of a cool, colorful tarot deck that's very similar to the Rider-Waite. But let's see what the tarot is here. As far as the original prompt goes with how can you better protect your boundaries, in just you are whole. I think that's it. Like, you are whole. It almost kind of answers it in the prompt. Know that no matter where you're at on your journey, you are whole and you are right where you're meant to be. And you are a healer and you deserve beautiful things and fulfillment is yours. And that alone is the journey to feeling safe as human. Safe in your energy. Okay, so, wow, we have the Queen of Wands. That's amazing. That is a beautiful card to get for a protect your energy. She is the most she is the epitome of stand in your light and nothing can mess with you. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Fool. Did you happen to see, I posted a reading very recently, and it was called Embrace Your New Beginning, Your Powerful New Beginning. If you feel called to it, it is there. And the Fool card was the epitome of that reading. So we have the Page of Swords. We have the Six of Swords. And lastly, we have the Knight of Cups. And the first thing that's coming through is the Two of Swords. There's an energy of questioning oneself. And it's very interesting that it's next to the Queen of Rods, the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands does not question herself. She stands in her worth, she stands in her light, and she knows that she is protection itself, and she trusts in her decisions. So they're very contradictory cards right next to each other. So perhaps this has been an energy two energies you've been teetering between. You are at the threshold with the Fool here. You are at the threshold of something new. And this teetering is something that is happening because you are about to have a breakthrough. And the Queen of Rods knows exactly what she's doing. You know exactly what you're doing moving forward. But the Two of Swords that's coming in and out and making you question yourself it's kind of a test in a sense. Not that I believe the universe tests us, but I do think kind of testing in a way is a natural consequence of expansion. So there's contraction and expansion, and that's kind of what it is. It's like this contraction, like you're trying to expand or break out of, like if you're a snake shedding your skin, like you're growing out of the skin and it's probably really uncomfortable to shed that skin. It's kind of like that inner questioning, that inner doubt. That's all it is that contraction before the expansion. So please know that and see it for what it is. So if you're overthinking about it, if you are questioning yourself, if you're thinking, am I going the right way? Am I making the right choices? Am I good enough for this? Is this right? Just know, please do not take heed to it, and just be with it and observe it, because it will eventually just dissipate the more you stand in your Queen of Wands energy and you keep making those choices out of confidence in yourself, in your light, in your power. And know this new beginning, this breakthrough is yours. It's already yours. And it's literally the thing that's pulsating within your being, ready to explode. It's like a universe being created within your being. So I could see how that could feel tight or uncertain or uncomfortable, because it is something that's kind of feels like the unknown, because it is something new that's never been created before. It's brand new. You're creating something in this world that is brand new. And kind of like a baby being born, it's the contractions and the birth episode. It's a whole thing, it's very uncomfortable. But the newness and the freshness, the new life that comes from that process is amazing and so meant to be. I might rename, I do this a lot. I'll have a prompt that comes through for the reading itself, like a question, and then the readings kind of take a life on their own. It's still usually related to the prompt, but I might rename the video, so we'll see. You'll know if I have already. I believe there's a creative journey ahead for you. The Queen of Wands is very creative as well, and I feel like the Fool is a creative energy too. It's like this birth, this new creation. But Page of Swords is about thinking outside the box, having new ideas, starting a new journey. Six of Swords is moving into calmer energy. And this is what it is. And Knight of Cups. I think of Knight of Cups a lot of times as creativity, because it makes me think of the muse, like following the muse, falling into something, like having an inner nudge and just going with it, falling into the flow. So this is giving me one of the ways in which you're going to feel rooted and protected in your boundaries moving forward on this journey is through your creativity. So writing poetry, like when you're having that inner battle, when you're having inner struggles on this journey, turning it into art in some way is going to be very helpful for you. Turning it into something that wasn't there before in the world. So even if you're not an artist, this could be building something, this could be, and you don't even have to be an artist. Like you can draw stick figures just to express something. It's how are you going to take this, what you have, this angst, this confliction, whatever it may be, how are you going to take this and use it and transform it into something that wasn't there before, into something that makes you feel like you fully expressed it into the world. Even if no eyes land on it, you've expressed it, you've gotten it out of you. This could be journaling, writing, this could be painting, this could be like whatever you do that's even crafty, creative. Just ultimately what you're going to be left with is this feeling of, I got this out of me and I got it out there, and it's no longer on my shoulders. It's no longer in my being making me feel uncomfortable. It's out. Whatever gives you that relief, whatever gives you that calmness and that peace, that is going to be very profound for you. So even if it is, I think a lot of people could benefit from, what do they call it? It's like stream of thought. So you could pull up like a notes app on your computer, or even just pull up a recorder on your phone, record your voice, but do stream of thought. Just blah, 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 blah. Like just express whatever comes to you in that moment. There's no questioning. There's no judgment. There's no pressure to create something. It's just stream of thought. There's this book called The Artist's Way. I read it a long time ago. And one of the practices, well, the main practice is you wake up in the morning and you do like 3 pages of stream of thought journaling. And apparently that is something that unlocks your creativity, because you're just getting things out there. You're just letting things flow. And by doing that, you end up catching the creative muse in a way. So that could be something you feel called to do, and that could be something that would be very beneficial for you. But whatever it is, again, whatever brings you that feeling of, I've expressed this and it feels like it's seen and it's heard in some way. I mean, even if like that message that came through with the flower, there's so much support for you in spirit. Even if it feels like you've gotten it out and you know just in spirit it's seen, it's heard, it's expressed, it's held, it's loved, it's transformed into love, that will be enough for you. Just take that load off your heart and release it through art. So, okay, let's go ahead and pull a few more cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And then I have one final card to pull from the Sacred Rebel Oracle, and I'm going to read from that guidebook. Let's see what message we get from this. Okay, so, oh wow, oh my gosh, but look, okay, I don't pull reversals a lot, but I do think this needs to be reversed, and it came out reversed, and it, like, energetically, a lot of times I'll, like, if something does want to be reversed, it'll feel magnetically like it wants to twist, but this one feels very stubborn. So this is the Two of Swords again, and I love that it's right here, right above your other Two of Swords, and it's reversed. So confliction being shifted, inner harmony is coming to pass. Let's keep pulling cards and see what else we get. Wow, this is kind of blowing my mind. You have the Queen of Wands again. And then we have, you have the Ten of Cups. It goes with this card, this ladybird, accept happiness and good fortune. You're being reminded once again to boldly and confidently move forward with the path you're on. You're being extremely validated by your ancestors, by your spirit guides, and by your angels. And you should feel confident in your power, in your light. You should feel confident in the steps you've been taking, in the steps you are taking now, and in the steps you will take in the future. You should feel confident in them. And know that, again, this creative outlet will help you to release that inner confliction. And know that you're on the right path. Ten of Cups is ultimate emotional, familial, just harmony and fulfillment. Ten of Cups is joy. It is light. It is dreams come true. And that is where you're headed. That is where you're headed. You are meant to feel the Ten of Cups reality on this earth. And again, wounded healer doesn't mean you still feel wounded. It just means you know how to heal wounds. And powerful because you've healed your own. So trust in where you're going. Know you're headed towards amazing things. You deserve all of your dreams come true. You deserve to feel happy and contented and fulfilled in your being, in your relationships, in your physical reality. Yeah, you deserve it. So let's go ahead and get our card for the Sacred Rebels. Let's see what we have. I feel like the infinite prayer session is going to be, I'm actually really excited to do it because I know it's going to be a powerful way for people to feel protected and safe in their own being and in their own boundaries. So there could be a lot of cord cutting involved in that energy. There could be, just a fortification happening there. But ultimately, it's your connection with the divine. I use Reiki. I use guided affirmations. And I'm in such a prayerful and powerful state during that time, but it is your connection to the divine that you're gaining access to within that session. And I call it the infinite prayer because it is infinite in nature, and you can go back to that session and get a download every time. And I just love those sessions. That they're really what make my Patreon special. So, okay, let's see. You have... Oh, I saw this earlier, so I think that's a confirmation. Number 21, I think this is perfect for you. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. You are so meant to work from your heart. Yes, because even with that creative energy that was coming through, like it felt like it was like a weight off your chest, like something coming out of your heart, being expressed through your heart. Maybe you need to speak to someone, express your feelings to someone. I don't know, but also, and there's a nest in her hair with 3 little eggs. Do you have 3 goals? Maybe put 3 intentions out there right now, and those will be lifted up into the heavens. And yeah, so beautiful. So let's go ahead and read from the guidebook. 21 reduces the 3, by the way, which is a number of expansion. So what is expanding in your life? What do you want to expand? Sky is the limit with you. Okay, so here we go. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within. Yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling, these are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow our mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. The mind sees, plans, and strategizes. The heart feels, responds, senses, and intuits. When we walk the path of the heart, we must feel and respond rather than plan our way. It is a different way to live and create. It is closer to the earth and to the source of life itself. It is not for those who are lacking in courage and trust, but you are not one of those. You are being asked to trust your heart and to drop into it. The mind is important, but it cannot supplant the heart. The role of the mind is to serve truths of the heart. That is, to create the spacious chamber of receptiveness into which the sacred rhythm of your heartbeat can resound. This oracle comes with a guidance for you. Deep within, you know what to do and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plans seem to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. Your head and heart have been in conflict at times over the course of your life. This has brought you struggle and sometimes deep suffering. However, this oracle brings you to the message that a truce will soon be declared, and the appropriate outcome of the mind waving the white flag of surrender is imminent. Yes, that's so beautiful. Soon, if not already, you will finally be feeling that your heart is leading you. You will feel that your mind is learning to follow the guidance of your heart rather than trying to be out front, seeing and sorting everything out in advance in order to be safe. What a relief to let go of this old way. Your mind can become more trusting and relaxed. There will be a period of adjustments as you get used to living without so much foresight, but with more insight, wisdom, and energy in the present moment to create. If you are finding that you cannot plan or strategize as you once did, or you feel you know less than you ever have known about where you are heading or how you are supposed to get there, then this oracle comes as confirmation that these are healthy signs of a shift from head to heart. You are not proceeding in error. You are exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. You are now in a position that is more powerful than ever because you are allowing yourself to be guided by your heart, a heart that beats in harmony with the heart of all existence. Your affairs are in accord with love, and no matter what may appear to be at times, all is unfolding according to that greater love, you included. So it says, lie on your back comfortably with your hands on your heart. And you can lie if you want, but you can just sit there and say this to yourself. I love you. I trust you. You are beautiful and you are wise. You be in harmony with the greater plan of love. You are my guiding light. Rest with your hands at your heart for several long, slow breaths, or however long it feels good. All right, so that is beautiful. Having a conversation with your heart. That's a cool idea. Like putting your hands on your heart and just intending your love and reverence and surrender to the heart, like taking your thoughts and just saying, no, I surrender to the heart's way, even when it doesn't make logical sense. That could be really powerful for you. All right. So for the infinite prayer session for you guys, I'm writing down power of the heart. Okay. Power of the heart. Move from head to heart. Allow the mind to truly surrender to the heart's ways. So that is my intention for you guys for the infinite prayer. I want to help you shift the energy from the mind to the heart, like pull it down. And I love this for the first intention because it's giving me direction. The heart is the center here. The heart is where we find our protection, where we find our wholeness, where we find everything we need to feel safe. And ultimately, the heart, I don't know if you've heard this before, but it emits like thousands and thousands of times more energy than the mind does. It's such a powerful force. And if we can truly just surrender to it and listen to it and take heed of its messages and of its guidance as our ultimate internal compass, then we cannot be led astray. So that's where we're starting, and there will be intentions for group 2 and 3 within that session. But as always, I'm intending it to be resonant for all 3 groups if you feel called to it. So again, there will be a link down below if you just want to do the infinite prayer session, but there will also be a code listed down below if you read this in time and want to try the 50% off the Patreon membership, and you will have access to this. Again, the overflow membership though. You have to do that one to gain access to the infinite prayer. So, all right, thank you so much for being here. I hope I see you in that infinite prayer session or over on my Patreon. If this resonated, please feel free to leave a comment down below, drop a flower emoji, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and listen to my outro to learn more about my lovely merch and just other ways I can support you. Thank you so much. Bye. If you'd like to be supported more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick a flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of the Little Flower Patreon. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. Each month in the Wellspring membership, I channel a theme or prompt for 2 new Pick a Flower readings, with one of those readings laying the foundation for what emerges in the infinite prayer. Using Reiki, prayer, intuitively guided affirmations, and a belief in miracles, I offer a new, powerful transmission each month. With the Overflow membership, receive everything in Wellspring plus access to every new extended infinite prayer session drawn from monthly YouTube readings from October 2025 on. Click the link in the description box below if you feel called to explore. Feel free to like, comment, drop a flower emoji, or subscribe to The Little Flower. You may browse single infinite prayer transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo with the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip or buy me a coffee if you feel called to. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, my heart and soul in video form. I'd be honored to have you over there as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower. If you haven't been to my channel, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So the prompt that came through for this reading is, you are whole. How can you better protect your boundaries? And I want to mention before we get started that I am doing an infinite prayer session for this reading. So the infinite prayer is a powerful way to connect to the divine and receive a transmission that will help you, in this case, help you fortify your boundaries. One way you can access the infinite prayer session for this reading is to join the overflow membership over on the Little Flower Patreon. So I am going to be offering a 50% off for your first month, and that will be valid until February 3rd of 2026. There will be a code down below if you make it in time, but don't worry if you don't make it in time. Every single month, in one of my readings, I will be offering a 2 to 3 day window where you can get 50% off your first month. So please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and you will be reminded of when my readings come up so you don't miss that opportunity. But before we get into your reading, go ahead and listen to this short intro about my Patreon and the infinite prayer, and I will see you on the other side. Before we get into your reading, I'd like to invite you into the sacred portal to healing, alignment, and expansion that is the Little Flower Patreon. A key element that makes the Little Flower Patreon special is the infinite prayer. Using Reiki, prayer, intuitively guided affirmations, and a belief in miracles, I offer a powerful transmission each month with the intention to bring you into deeper resonance with your truest soul essence and most fulfilling path. Entering into the infinite prayer means remembering you've always held the key to the healing waters of your own soul. This is your safe and protected conduit to the divine. I simply hold the mirror. Tap into your own sacred, ever-flowing internal spring, always pure, always moving, always offering exactly what you need the moment you choose to dip your cup in. Return as often as you feel called to. Enter the Wellspring membership and receive access to an ever-growing sanctuary of soulful pick-a-flower readings and infinite prayer sessions. Each month, I tap in and channel a theme or prompt for 2 new in-depth readings, with one of those readings laying the foundation for what emerges in the infinite prayer. Join the Overflow membership and receive everything in Wellspring, plus access to every new extended infinite prayer session drawn from YouTube readings like this one from October 2025 on. If the Little Flower Patreon is calling to you, click the link in the description box below. If at any point during this reading you feel inspired to, feel free to like, subscribe, drop a flower emoji, and leave a comment. I'd love to know how things are resonating, or if you have any questions or suggestions for me. Now, back to your reading. All right, so now that you know more about that, let's go ahead and get into the reading. So you chose group number 2, and I am using Gerbera daisies today. So we've got these lovely white Gerbera daisies, and then we have these red ones with the green center. The red ones were the ones that called out to me first. They had this really potent, powerful energy, and they felt very like fortified. And that makes a lot of sense as far as this reading goes, because my intention is to bring you into an awareness of how the more you deepen into the true essence and nature of who you truly are, the more you deepen into your humanity and you find safety and peace within that space, the more you recognize that you've always had existing protection available to you. You've always had a way to feel as though you are rooted and to be truly protected. So you don't have to move through the world with your guard up. And that's kind of where I'm wanting to go with this reading, but we'll go down the rabbit hole together and we'll see what wants to come through. I also picked the white daisies kind of revealed it to me after I picked them, but they were chilling in a vase in my room for a while, and they had this, like, they look like eyeballs almost, and they really felt like these protective eyes kind of like guarding and surrounding me. So it feels like this white light protection coming in, guardian angels and guides, just that beautiful, pure protective energy. So we've got like the so within, so without kind of thing. We've got like this deep inherent energy with the red, and then this external white light energy as well. So it's interesting. Let's just go ahead and get into the reading. So you chose group number 2 with this red Gerbera daisy, and I do like to get a message from the daisy before we get started. So red Gerbera daisy, what do you have to say to group number 2? I know it's been intense. I know it's been overwhelming at times. And I know that there have been times when you have felt unsafe in your own being, where you have felt betrayed by either internal or external energies, violated even. But I want you to know that you are safe, and that it is safe to move into balance. It is safe to move into trust, that you have broken ties to the past. You have broken ties to the energies that did not have your best interests at heart. And you have placed yourself in new, better surroundings. You are safe. You do not need your guard up anymore. And I know that is easier said than done, but this is what we're working towards. We're working towards a deep sense of true safety in our being. You deserve it. You deserve it, and it is time. It is time to put the sword down. You no longer need it. You found yourself in a safe place. It is time to rest if you need rest. It is time to find peace and know that it won't be fleeting, that you are safe to exist within peace for an extended period of time. You don't need a guard up. You don't need a weapon. You are safe, you are safe, you are safe, and know that. And if you are someone who is escaping or leaving toxic or unhealthy situations, just know you're being called into this safety and this knowing that it is yours and you are meant for it. And your surroundings are meant to not only feel safe, but be safe. Trust, trust, trust. This is where you are. This is where you're going. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, beautiful Daisy. Let's go ahead and get into your card. So your first oracle card is from I think it's called the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And, oh, wow, this is beautiful. You got number 24 with the Heart of Sky. The energy that's coming through is that of a beautiful, sensitive soul who, I really want to say you've been through some really heavy things in your life and you didn't deserve it. And your soul in essence is one of peace and one of love and one of gentleness. And maybe other people or the environments you've been in haven't treated you with that same energy. I'm also seeing someone who's had to wield weapons, like metaphorical weapons, of course. Or maybe some of you have even been in dangerous situations. I don't know, but you've had to be strong and you've had to protect yourself. And I could even see some of you thinking, feeling guilty for acting in certain ways, saying certain things, acting out of, it's almost like animalistic. It's like being backed into a corner and having to do something or say something crazy to either be heard or to protect yourself. Not crazy, but you know what I mean? You might deem it as something you would regret or something you feel bad about. It's just your energy's so soft and light and effervescent and pure that it's like the flip side of that feels so harsh. So I could just see a lot of you having a hard time forgiving yourself for acting in certain ways, even when it was survival instinct and it was just required of you. It was just the way your body and your instinct reacted. So there's a lot of grace here. There's a lot of love here. And there's a lot of higher awareness, this heart of the sky. I mean, part of me thinks it's like escapism, like maybe you've had to experience, like escape into your dreams, escape into your own fantasies in your own mind at certain times to kind of remove yourself from certain situations and to find safety. But the energy that like you're safe in your body, and you're heading towards safety in your environment, like true safety, and you're being called back into your body. And then also with this dreaming sky energy, your dreams can become reality. And you descending into your body and finding safety in your body and healing what needs to be healed through that journey. Somatic healing could be really powerful for you. Yoga is really good for somatic healing. Breath work is really good for somatic healing. If you look up somatic healers online, there are many different kinds, but somatic just means like of the body, like healing through the body. And that could be something that really helps you, because as you descend into your body, as you ground into yourself, you're going to come across resistance and fear. And these things show up as resistance and fear at first, but if you just sit with them and you do the work, like a massage is really good for healing. It's just, we all carry so much of our pain and we carry everything in the body, and there's always a place that it's being held. And if you just be with it and sit with it, it's more about an emotional release that needs to occur. It's not about like figuring something out or claiming something in the mind and just like having an aha moment. It's about crying, like letting your body cry it out, letting your body release it, having those cathartic, somatic releases. That could be something that's really good for you. So doing yoga, yin yoga is really good for that. Or even like doing body scans, like meditative body scans, where you just sit with, okay, I'm going to meditate on my toe and then my next toe and then my foot and then my ankle, just listening to your body and getting familiar with the places in your body. And if there are pains or discomforts, instead of just wanting to just work that out or wanting it to disappear or dissipate or ignoring it, you're really sitting with it. Okay, why is this pain here? Why is this discomfort here? Why do I feel so fearful to, go into my body, like in this place? Or it's really listening and waiting until the truth comes through. And the truth is usually so much more easy to process than the fear that kind of like stands at the threshold of that. So eating healthy could be something that really helps as well. This feels so much like your body is a sanctuary energy. Trusting your body and the truth that's held there, and trusting the intelligence of the body to heal itself, but being someone who encourages the body to heal and encourages the soul to heal through the body, and who gives the body opportunity after opportunity to release. So that being, 3 times a week doing yoga, or going, even like lifting weights, or, doing something in the body, like body related, like going to a sauna, sweating things out, getting a massage, whatever it may be, whatever the thing, something creative with the body. You could, I used to do aerial silks. That was really amazing. And finding that power in your physical body could be really empowering and beautiful and healing. So just those are opportunities and options. But yeah, that's the feeling. And I don't want to minimize anything you've been through, because it feels very intense. Like even coming in, I was like stumbling over my words, and I was like, am I just nervous or what's going on here? But it is because there's like, it feels like you've been through something intense, and I think that's worthy of being honored and recognized. And I just want to say, anything that you did or had to do throughout that journey of processing those intense things, it doesn't define you, and you are a beautiful, pure, good loving person. And that's the truth. And anything that doesn't align to that truth is a lie that should be explored. So, and questioned. So, okay. I like that 24 reduces to 6 too. That's a number of harmony and balance. And I think that's what you're meant for moving forward, finding that harmony and balance in body, mind, spirit, and soul. So I'm going to pull a couple cards from the native spirit and see what else we have going on here. Okay, we have, I love this. We have the word heart twice, by the way. And for the infinite prayer for group 1, the prompt or the inspiration of group 1 for the infinite prayer was power of the heart. Move from head to heart. Allow the mind to truly surrender to the heart's ways. So that infinite prayer session is going to be a powerful realignment to the heart and a recognition that the heart is our greatest our greatest compass. Truly, truly, truly. The mind is a labyrinth sometimes, and the mind is confused sometimes, but the heart always knows the way. And then you also have talking stick. Interesting. We're just going to get right into the Archangel Animal Oracle as well, which you already have a polar bear. So I could see, bear could be an animal, like a spirit animal for you, because bears are very, they symbolize this loving, protective energy. But when they're being protected, when they're in their most protective, they're very ferocious. And again, with what maybe you've had to do or say in the past, or what you were kind of pushed to, the limit you were pushed to could have been something akin to a bear protecting its cubs. And there should be no shame around that. There's a way to release that and trust and know that you're moving into an era of your life where that ferocious protective bear doesn't have to come out. You just get to be the cuddly, warm, homey bear that rests and eats and it feels safe in your den. So we have we have hedgehog. Be a magnet for light, love, and joy with Archangel Gabriel. Interesting that Archangel Gabriel is here with talking stick, because Gabriel is a messenger angel, and he's a guardian angel for or a guiding angel for writers, for people who speak for a living. So there could be something there. And then, I love this. Raven is a very powerful sign of protection. Prepare for change. Archangel Azrael and Black Pea. Oh, beautiful. And I love that there's this raven in spirit behind the earthly raven here. And that it just makes me think of the earth realm and the spirit realm merging. So the energy, I just I just hit my hand on the lamp above there. The energy lightened up quite a bit. And with this, be a magnet for light, love, and joy. And wow, and even my heart feels lighter. Something shifted here. And there's an overflowing, effervescent, just light energy pouring through the heart right now. And there's a blessing. Okay. There's a blessing beaming down on you right now. A blessing of love, a blessing of light, a blessing of lightness. There's a feeling of something that's been there for so long, just suddenly, and this could be a physical pain. This could be an emotional weight or a mental struggle, just anything that resonates. But there's a feeling of something being there for so long, a weight, a heaviness, and it just being lifted all of a sudden, a blessing from God, a divine. I heard remembrance, a divine remembrance of who you truly are. And because of that, the weight you carry just dissolves. And it feels like a miracle, but it's not a miracle. It's just simply who you are and who you've always been. It's so interesting because the energy that started this reading was intensity, heaviness, tightness, overprotection. And now it's just freedom, lightness, a breath of fresh air. Like it's almost like you've been swimming underwater and you've been swimming to the surface and swimming to the surface, and you could only maybe get like little breaths, and then you get pulled back under the waves. But this is you finally coming up above and getting like a full deep breaths and like making it to land, and just being able to breathe and being able to rest, and you're not swimming against the currents anymore. This is it's either your energy now, what's happening for you now, or it's what's about to occur for you. And it feels like you were carrying that burden on your heart. Like it feels like the heart space feels so much lighter. Yeah, it just feels like, oh my God. I'm relieved. Like I'm relieved of a burden. I'm relieved of a weight. I'm relieved of a pain. Like, thank God, thank God, thank God. Like, and it's like a remembrance, like, oh yeah, I forgot this is how I could feel. I forgot that this is how I'm supposed to feel it. Like, I just thought that was a part of who I was. Like, I just thought that was what life was. And now I'm realizing and remembering, like, no, that was a weight I was carrying for a very long time. And it's gone. So beautiful. Let's get into the tarot. I love prepare for change as well. It feels so like there's like this anticipatory energy and like an excitement, like even with the hedgehog, like it's so like there's this almost like smirky energy coming through and all these colors and this effervescent energy around these two animals. It's like the divine knows something you don't know, that something like prepare for change. It's like you don't even have to know what's coming, but just know something beautiful is coming and a shift is coming for you, an opportunity. This could be like you could be moving to a different location. You could be moving into a new job. It feels like an environment shift or like something being removed from your environment that was causing you stress. It's something like that. So you're safe to prepare for that. You're safe to anticipate that. Maybe part of you already does anticipate it, but you don't want to get your hopes up. But I'm here to confirm to you that it is safe to anticipate a positive change and that burden being lifted. I feel like a whole new reading has opened up. Queen of Rods in the same exact position, same card that group number 1 got. Okay. That's the same card too. Oh no, it's like the same exact reading though. I just shuffled these up really well. I kind of want to redo this. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna shuffle these a little better because that wasn't. Okay. I don't think I shuffled good enough, and there's something weird about it. That's interesting because I said, oh, there's a whole new reading. And then I put down the cards and it was practically the same reading as group number 1. And so I think there's a message in that little snafu there. So something could, okay. So your circumstances could look very much the same. Oh, and then the only 2 cards that were different were the 8 of Swords and the Chariot. There could be a lag time between when you feel a blessing and when you anticipate a blessing coming on and when it actually does come on. And the fact that the 8 of Swords was there kind of like blocking off the Chariot, like the Chariot was the next step. And that is like freedom, determination, change, like plowing forward towards what you want, things moving, things happening. So it felt like, yeah, there might be some lag time. And the 8 of Swords is about feeling trapped within something and feeling like you don't know the way out. But the answer is held within. And again, I think in the infinite prayer session, or even if you don't feel called to that, the answer is in your heart space, your inner compass, and processing through the body. And that could be uncomfortable for a period of time. There could be this time where you're like pushing and pushing and pushing, and it is a difficult journey. Like it is kind of this process of just building up your resilience and building new habits and really doing the work. But I promise you, if you keep listening and going within and listening to, man, Two of Swords was there too. And that is about going within and hearing, like listening to your inner compass, closing your eyes, going within. Both of those cards are about that. So you have to feel your way through the heart. You have to feel your way with your eyes closed. You have to feel your way without logic, only through your gut, your instinct, your body, your heart, and know that this breakthrough, this lightness, this shift that you're desiring is inevitable. I promise you that. It's just, there is a lag time between, the higher, like 5D, the higher, the download and the execution of it in the world. The 3D is more dense, it's slower. So there is going to be that lag time, and you're just being called to hold on to faith throughout all of it. And I promise you, you will be seen to the other side of it. And that hope and those little glimmers are going to be there for you anytime you need them. Anytime you feel lost or trapped in the energies of your present moment, that hope is available to you. Just go within and seek it out. And I promise you the divine will not disappoint. So that was like, it's interesting because now we're getting into, the actual cards I want to pull for you. And that was like this little, it's a bridge. There is a bridge to a dream come true. There is a bridge to that relief. And it's you following those inner nudges and doing the work for a while and taking those steps that you feel called to take, and trusting in your own voice along the way. Okay, we have the Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords. That makes me really happy for you. The Queen of Swords is a beautiful card for you. She stands in her power. She stands in her self-awareness. She has impeccable boundaries. She takes no shit, and she says it like it is. She can be very protective of her space, of her heart, but she's so balanced in that protection. Like we talked a lot earlier about you wielding like a weapon, having to wield a weapon, like put down your sword. But this is you knowing how to wield your sword. This is you having that weapon, but using it like a queen uses it, using it with precision, using it like an expert. Like when you do need it, you can cut a cord. When you need to voice a boundary, you can voice the boundary with a groundedness, with a centeredness, and with a proudness. And those who don't honor those boundaries will gradually fall away. But I see you just in this protective field of your own creation, but your heart's still overflowing. Your heart's still, you're allowed to still be vulnerable because of this protection. So, and Four of Swords is about rest. And I see you through, like what we talked about, the bridge, when you're on the other side of the bridge, when you're in that chariot, right after, that journey of that chariot to the next phase of your journey, to that burden being lifted, to that breath of fresh air, you're going to have an opportunity to truly rest. You're going to have maybe some more like free time than usual, or maybe some space to yourself you didn't have before, but you're going to have an opportunity to rest, to truly, truly rest and truly, truly heal from the past phase. So let's keep pulling cards. Wow, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yep, prepare for change. Wheel of Fortune is about change. The tide's turning. What goes up must come down, and vice versa. And it does seem like you've been in like a rough patch, and what goes down must come up as well. So beautiful. Page of Cups. Oh, yeah, this is perfect. The High Priestess and the Eight of Wands. That's about movement as well. The High Priestess and the Queen of Swords, you're going to be standing in your power, standing in, like, you know who you are. You know who you are. You don't apologize for who you are. And your boundaries are crystal clear to you, so they're crystal clear to everyone else. You're not afraid to speak your truth. You do so in a loving way. I love that this Queen of Swords has roses surrounding her and a rose at the center of her heart. And there's a crystal, like a ruby, at the center of her heart as well. And it just feels like, I am going to have my boundaries. I'm still going to be overflowing with love. I'm still going to be kind and tenderhearted, but I am firm about a certain select viewpoints. Like I'm not afraid to call someone out when the situation calls for it. I'm not afraid to have confrontation when necessary, but I'm not overreactive. I don't get angry within confrontation. I'm calm, I'm grounded, and I'm kind within confrontation. From here on out, I've found this balance. So moving forward with the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Cups, there is a lightness. So the Page of Cups and the Page of Cups can represent a surprise too. And I was talking about a surprise, or like it feels like there's some blessing for you that you're unaware of. But the Page of Cups is also a lightness, a playfulness, a jovial energy where your inner child feels free. That bridge energy where you were doing the work is what has gotten you to this new phase. It's almost like you are walking, like it's the energy of walking through a tunnel, and you keep seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter, but it feels like it's never ending while you're in it. But you just keep moving forward, and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And all of this right here is you on the other side, just proud in who you are, and light and loving and feeling protective, and having a newfound, it very much feels like a newfound space in the world, like a space you're occupying. And this could be metaphorical. You're taking up more space, and you feel proud to do that. And you feel like you have a sacred space within your own soul, but it could be literal space. It could be, a new home that feels safe and that feels like yours. It could be a new workplace where your boundaries are honored and where your voice is respected. A new relationship where your boundaries are honored and your voice is respected. It does feel like you're just entering into like your environment, your physical environment, and the people around you honor your boundaries because you've done the work. You've taken the time. You've walked through that tunnel and you've put one foot in front of the other in the direction of your self-worth. And because of that, it just, then the world naturally aligns to the truth of who you are. So again, there could be that lag time in between where you look around you and everything looks the same. And it's like still not feeling respected, still not being honored. But what has changed is internal. Along the way, you're honoring your voice. It may even feel more volatile along the way, because sometimes when we start asserting boundaries in environments that we never had boundaries before, we get backlash, and we get like, it's like angry, angry energies. Like, where did this come from? Like, who is this person? I can't walk all over you anymore. I can't take advantage of you anymore. So trust in who you are and where you're going. Trust in your rootedness and your boundaries, and know that on the other side of it is that mirroring back in your environment. So I hope that wasn't too wordy. I keep having this feeling like everything's kind of lagging, and that could be so frustrating. And I'm sorry if you are going through that, where you feel like you've been making all these changes and you're having these epiphanies and these truths, and you know where you're headed, but the world around you doesn't mirror quite up to it yet. I know how that feels, and I just want to validate you in that experience. But we have the Eight of Wands here, and I do feel like once you've exited the tunnel, it's not just like you've found yourself in a bigger cavern that has like light beaming in from the top. It's not like that. You've literally exited the tunnel. You've exited the weight of everything. And like, it's even like that metaphor of coming out of the water, and the waves aren't hitting you anymore, and you're finally on land in the open sky, in the beautiful oxygenated air that surrounds you. And you have time to rest, and then you have time to build from there. You have time to move from a place of safety, which will feel different. You will be inspired to move forward in different ways, because it's not a fight anymore. And your life will take on a shape that will feel different. And you'll be able to be more in a creative energy. You'll be able to be more in an inspired energy, in a light and a playful, fun energy. Your inner child will feel safe. life will feel joyous again. And it's so worth it. I promise you it's so worth it. Again, I think it's going to be a quick shift once you're there. And I do think the High Priestess being here, like right at the end before this change, this is about trusting your inner voice. The High Priestess is about your intuition, your spiritual power, it's not, of course, it's not the Magician. That's about manifestation. But in this context, for some reason, it's making me think of what you're creating and what you're manifesting, and you trusting in that inner voice to guide you there. And it's like that's the threshold, is just the deeper and deeper trust in yourself. And then the more you trust in yourself, and the more you keep moving forward towards what you know to be true for you and what your potential is and where you're going, it's like you cannot lose if you just keep deepening into that and not letting the external voices or inner doubt pull you back into survival mode, you know? So let's pull a few more cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. This is one of those readings where I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Like a lot of times things feel cohesive in my mind, but maybe that's part of this. We had a couple, wow, oh my gosh, the Wheel of Fortune and Death. That's crazy. I think these are the only two that want to come out. They were, wait, nope, hold on. Maybe one more. The Two of Swords, okay. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune again, so that's a double confirmation that things are changing for you, and the fact that we have prepared for change. I just want you to know true change in the world, not only within you, but all around you, is possible and is coming. And for the better. Things are looking up. Things are coming to fruition in ways that perhaps you've been dreaming about for a very long time. Perhaps you've been working towards for a very long time. Your environment is shifting. I promise you that. The Death card is about transformation. I can totally see that energy here. I think you're going to have to let go through this process, or maybe you already have, of people, places, and things that aren't honoring who you truly are and who you found yourself to be and embody. So I think you're going to be letting go possibly of some of you a partnership. Some of you, you'll have to put bit distance between even family members. Some of you will literally move out to a new town, state, country. Some of you will, I mean, this feels like true endings and letting go of things that maybe you once loved and maybe you will always have love for. And that could be the Two of Swords energy. Like it is, I am reluctant because I have love. So that could be something that's very conflicting. There could be internal conflict there. Like, I don't want to let go of this person. Like, am I being, like, you could even be questioning yourself. Like, am I being too harsh? Am I being too unforgiving? And maybe with some of your boundaries, like, am I being too unforgiving? Am I being too harsh? But I don't think so. I think moving forward with this Queen of Swords energy here, I see you in your power and in your truth and still keeping your kindness and love intact. And there could be backlash from moving forward, even if it is your truth and your love. But it's something you're going to be able to manage very well. And it's not going to, it feels like the relief you're going to receive on the other side of this journey is going to be full on worth it. And you could enter into, this looks almost like an eclipse or like a void, like a black hole. You could move into a feeling like you're like a void feeling for a while, just because maybe you've released so much that there's just like an empty feeling. But that's exactly where you're meant to be. It's like a death portal in a way. Like you're releasing so much, but that's just because so much new, fresh growth and life is meant to burst through the grounds of your soul and your world to it's so much more aligned with who you are. I promise you that. And you won't feel alone. You won't feel like you've lost anything. You'll feel more fulfilled, more whole, more respected, more honored, more trusted, more seen. And just more full of joy and light and love. This hedgehog, be a magnet for light, love, and joy. You cannot go wrong with the direction you're heading in. I promise you that. So that's so interesting too. This looks like a raven, like a dead raven. And we have this raven here and then the raven in spirit. So some of you could be processing literal death, and I'm really sorry if that's the case. That's very difficult. But there is grace here, and there is love here for you, and there is opportunity for enlightenment here, and opportunity to feel that connection to the divine even more deeply than ever before in your life. So please know that. But yeah, okay, is there anything else before I pull my last oracle card? I think I want to write down my intentions for you for the infinite prayer session. So I'm hearing it is safe to enter the void. And then I heard allow the love to permeate the grounds you walk on. So I see someone walking under a night sky, and I see this at the brink of springtime. You're walking outside at night on this like fertile ground at springtime, just before, the green shoots start coming up in the earth. And this is where you're at on your journey. And it feels barren, but you can feel it. You can feel the energy of spring coming. You just don't see the green shoots yet. So it feels like this weird void. It's kind of like an in-between space. But there's such beauty here and acknowledgement that this is exactly where you're meant to be, because spring can't come without this moment. And so that's the energy we're bringing into the infinite prayer for you. And again, group 1 was about moving from head to heart and allowing your heart to guide you. So I'm not sure what group 3 will be yet, but if you feel called to that session, again, there will be a link down below. But sorry, I'm not done with your reading. We're pulling a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and I am reading from the guidebook on these. The messages are a little long, but they're really beautiful and oftentimes confirm what we talked about oftentimes they confirm what we talked about, and then sometimes it will just be like this bonus message. So we'll see what we get. Okay, so number 15 with big, bold vision. All right. You were not born to play a small role in life. You have the ability to dream big. Even if you have absolutely no idea about how your visions can come to pass or what the details may look like, you can access the heart and guts of a vision by tapping into your wildest dreams and surrendering attachment to exactly how it will all work out. The details are up to the creative genius of the universe. You are an active, contributing participant, but not the sole player in your life journey. There is something, a vision or an idea, that is coming to you. You may worry that it is too much for you, but don't worry, it is meant to be yours. Although you might have some adjustments to make and some tweaking to do as you let go of your limited thinking and open to a fearless acceptance of bigger, brighter, more radical, and more potent possibilities of creatively living your light in the world. A sign that you are cracking out of your limited thinking to allow for a big, bold vision to come to you is that you might feel a little dizzy with the shrinking limitations and expanding possibilities of life. You may wonder if you are allowed to access so much wonder. Remember that in your healing and growing success, as you manifest this big vision, you can touch the hearts of others through your presence, your inner work, your art, and your choices. It's a win-win situation. Those that are meant to live big, bold, and visionary lives need to give themselves permission to break the mold and forge newer, more expansion perspectives of what is possible, what is permitted, and what is of service. It's about letting go and opening up. Others will benefit from this. Even though it is your vision, it is not just about you. You are being asked to remember that when something is right for you, endless synchronicities and support will flow your way at the right time and in the right way. Stay open, receptive, playful, and surrendered. This oracle brings you a message. You are about to receive or be invited to become a part of a grand visionary beginning. It has the makings of something fantastic. No matter how the journey that brings this vision into reality unfolds, and there will be some twists and turns that you don't see coming, it is still helpful for you to be open to it. Trust your heart, be still with your choices, and when the time feels right and truthful, leap. This oracle brings a message for those who would like to further develop their intuitive insight. It is already happening. Trust in what you perceive. Even if it conflicts with what everyone else around you is saying or the surface of things, trust your inner perceptions. They are accurate and will be proven to be so later on. The healing process below will help you with this also. This oracle brings a general message of positive energy. Trust that things will be coming up roses for you. Oh, and there was that, the roses at the center of, it was the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords heart. Even if everything seems to be in a bit of shambles now, it's really just the essential mess before a truly spectacular success. Exactly. Okay. So the healing process here, you can say this to yourself or out loud. Say, I release all blocks to my vision. I release all beliefs, conscious or unconscious, stored in my body or mind that would have me belittle or minimize myself out of fear or ignorance. I choose to be bold, big, and bright, to vision with my heart, and receive all of the genius of the universe in supporting that vision and coming to life. So be it. You have completed your healing process. Repeat again whenever you feel yourself in awe of what seems to be coming through you as a vision for the future. Okay, so this is confirmation. Like if you've been having downloads and you see like that, it's that light at the end of the tunnel. Like you know what you're walking towards, but it's hard because you still feel like things aren't changing, things aren't shifting, and you keep working and pushing and moving. This is just such a confirmation. And just believe in it and let go of those limiting voices. I know it's easier said than done. But let go of them along the way. Do your best to cut those cords and trust in your intuition, trust in where you're going, and know you're headed towards something amazing, and you're so worthy of it and you're so meant for it. So, all right, group number 2. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. Thank you so much for being here. Again, there will be a link down below to the Infinite Prayer Session. There will also be a code down below if you'd like to try the 50% off Patreon Overflow membership and gain access to that session and a plethora of Infinite Prayer Sessions and in-depth pick a flower readings as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I'm honored by your presence. Please feel free to leave a comment, drop a flower emoji, subscribe to my channel, and stick around to listen to my outro to learn more about my merch and other ways I can support you. Thank you so much. Bye. If you'd like to be supported more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick a flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of the Little Flower Patreon. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment, a sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. Each month in the Wellspring membership, I channel a theme or prompt for 2 new pick a flower readings, with one of those readings laying the foundation for what emerges in the Infinite Prayer. Using Reiki, prayer, intuitively guided affirmations, and a belief in miracles, I offer a new, powerful transmission each month. With the Overflow membership, receive everything in Wellspring, plus access to every new extended Infinite Prayer session drawn from monthly YouTube readings from October 2025 on. Click the link in the description box below if you feel called to explore. Feel free to like, comment, drop a flower emoji, or subscribe to The Little Flower. You may browse single Infinite Prayer transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo with the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip or buy me a coffee if you feel called to. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, my heart and soul in video form. I'd be honored to have you over there as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. If you haven't been here, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers, along with the tarot, to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, the prompt that came through is, you are whole. How can you better protect your boundaries? So we go down the rabbit hole together. A lot of times the messages that come through are surprising, and I might even change the title of this video, but that is the prompt that starts everything off. And for this reading in particular, I want to mention that I am doing an Infinite Prayer session. So the Infinite Prayer is a powerful way to connect to the divine and receive a transmission to help you, in this case, fortify and deepen into the protective, just the inherent protective quality that you already are. There will also be an opportunity to get 50% off your first month of your Patreon membership. So if you check out the Little Flower Patreon, if you join the Overflow membership, you will actually gain access to every infinite prayer session that goes off of the YouTube readings. So for instance, if you do 50% off the Overflow membership, it will actually be cheaper to do that than to just purchase the infinite prayer session one off. So that is an opportunity for anybody who feels called to do that. There will be a code down below to get that 50% off. It is only valid for 3 or 4 days from when I am posting this. So it'll be valid until February 3rd, 2026. But don't worry if you missed this one. I'm going to do this every month. So there will be one reading every month where I do an infinite prayer session and where I will offer that small window of 50% off your first month. So it's a really cool way to check out the membership and see if it's for you. It is filled with like a year and a half so far worth of in-depth pick a flower readings and infinite prayer transmissions. A lot of powerful energy in there. And yeah, that opportunity will be there for you. Before we get into your reading, listen to this quick intro about Patreon, and I will see you on the other side. Before we get into your reading, I'd like to invite you into the sacred portal to healing, alignment, and expansion that is the Little Flower Patreon. A key element that makes the Little Flower Patreon special is the infinite prayer. Using Reiki, prayer, intuitively guided affirmations, and a belief in miracles, I offer a powerful transmission each month with the intention to bring you into deeper resonance with your truest soul essence and most fulfilling path. Entering into the infinite prayer means remembering you've always held the key to the healing waters of your own soul. This is your safe and protected conduit to the divine. I simply hold the mirror. Tap into your own sacred, ever-flowing internal spring, always pure, always moving, always offering exactly what you need the moment you choose to dip your cup in. Return as often as you feel called to. Enter the Wellspring membership and receive access to an ever-growing sanctuary of soulful pick-a-flower readings and infinite prayer sessions. Each month, I tap in and channel a theme or prompt for 2 new in-depth readings, with one of those readings laying the foundation for what emerges in the infinite prayer. Join the Overflow membership and receive everything in Wellspring, plus access to every new extended infinite prayer session drawn from YouTube readings like this one from October 2025 on. If the Little Flower Patreon is calling to you, click the link in the description box below. If at any point during this reading you feel inspired to, feel free to like, subscribe, drop a flower emoji, and leave a comment. I'd love to know how things are resonating, or if you have any questions or suggestions for me. Now, back to your reading. All right, awesome. So let's get into your reading. So you chose group number 3. 3 is a number of expansion, of openness, of freedom, and I do feel that in your energy. Group number 2, it felt like there was this profound shift happening there, and then I had to smudge the space. It almost felt like a healing took place in group number 2, a processing of heavier energies, and now I feel like we're entering into this lightness. So this is really beautiful. It's really cool that you chose this reading. If you did, you are entering into a space of expansion and lightness and burdens lifted. So beautiful for you. I'm using Gerbera daisies. They're some symbols of joy, levity. The white ones feel so protective. They looked like eyeballs to me, so it kind of felt like protective eyes. It feels like your guardian angels, your spirit guides. And then the red Gerbera daisies with the green center, that felt more like ancestral energy and just like deepening into your body and finding that inherent protection in, your humanity. And with the green center, it's this heart center, this green healing energy. I'm really excited about this one. So let's go ahead and get a message from your Gerbera daisy to see what it has to say to you. Okay, Gerbera daisy, what do you have to say to group number 3? You've done it. You've made it. You're on the other side. This has been a long journey, but it is the only journey worth taking. You have followed your intuition. You've followed your heart. And now the world can see what you've seen all along. Long-held dreams are coming to fruition. And even though you've known all along, it may seem and feel like a miracle. but it's not a miracle. It is life creation. You co-created this with the divine. You trusted in your intuition and you took steps. You took actions on faith. And that faith will be rewarded in the material world, in your heart, in your soul, in your relationships, an enhanced sense of inner power, and knowing that you are safe, knowing that you are protected, knowing that you are right where you are meant to be, and that from this new place, nothing can touch you, nothing can take what you've built because it was built by the divine. Your foundation is steady and solid because it was co-created, co-built by the divine. No stone was left unturned. Every nook and cranny was filled and accounted for. You have the most solid foundation you could ever stand on. Because it all starts from spirit first, and you know that. You know that. You know that spirit is above matter. And what you're building goes beyond the physical plane. It is a legacy of love and truth. And even if someone tried to tear down what you've built in the material world, they could never take this away from you. They could never take away from your impact, from the love that you've shared and spread, and the healing that has taken place on this planet because you existed here, because you exist here. That being said, embrace these new blessings. They were always meant for you. Amen. Beautiful. So you're entering into an era of dreams come true, of blessings falling into your life, and it's going to feel like miraculous, but it's like you knew all along what you were walking towards, but it still feels unreal. That's the feeling. So this is interesting because we're talking about boundaries in this reading. So I'm curious what this means in terms of how this relates to the prompt. You know, you are whole. How can you better protect your boundaries? So we'll keep pulling. It usually circles around, so we'll get there. But let's go ahead and see what your first oracle card is from the Shaman's Dream. No, Mystical Shaman's Oracle. I have two shaman decks. One's called Shaman's Dream. This one's called Mystical Shaman. They're both beautiful. Shut up. Seriously, look. Number 42 with the Rainmaker. Like, if this doesn't scream abundance and overflowing blessings, I don't know what does. And it just, even the way this woman is dancing with, like, and she is the rainmaker. This feels like you are the rainmaker. You are dancing with life. You are dancing with the divine, and you're creating something beautiful just by being yourself, just by following your inspiration, just by following your truth, following light, following love. And nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop what you're creating in this world. I think a lot of what these boundaries we're going to be talking about here is you moving forward into a place where you know that what you've created cannot be taken away from you, that you are safe entering into these blessings. That's a very interesting kind of, it's like something, it's flipping something on its head, because a lot of times when I think of boundaries, I think of, you know, how am I protecting my energy? How am I protecting my family? How am I protecting truth and love? And like, how am I making sure that I'm being heard and seen and honored the way that I deserve? But this feels like you landing in a new reality and receiving blessings, and you feeling so rooted and grounded and satiated and like in your self-worth within all of it, that you feel like this is reality, this is truth, this is safe. So there could be something there where in the initial stages of receiving, I mean, it could be money, it could be material things, or it could be like a new relationship. It could be, I'm seeing even like, I'm thinking of someone like conception, like it could be a pregnancy. Like a lot of times when blessings and good things come into our world and we're used to a certain kind of like our nervous system is used to the lack of that thing. It's almost like our nervous system has a moment of like not trusting the new energy. So I think there's something here around you having this solidity within, like learning how to feel solid in your blessings and also stay detached. Because I think there was a message with the flower talking about how you feel safe because you know that God is first. That even if there are these amazing things coming into your world, you know that God has your back and you know that God's orchestrating everything in a beautiful way and you're just co-creating the damn thing. And you don't know exactly how it's going to unfold, but because you have that lifeline to the divine, you just trust and you know it's all going to be okay. And you can just, and that's the key to really enjoying life, is knowing, this can all be like, everything's temporary. So I'm going to embrace it and love it while it's here. And it just really helps, that detachment. So we'll see where we go from here. Let's pull a couple cards from the Native Spirit Oracle. "42 could be a really powerful age for you. And even, this is interesting, if some of you you're not older. I'm 39, like I don't think of myself as old at all. But maybe some, like with that conception message. And again, obviously this is only going to resonate with a few of you, but I just want to say, even if you think you're late, like you're too old or you're getting too old or you're worried about your age when it comes to conception and having a child, I just want to tell you, like, there are women who have children in their 40s and it goes over perfectly. Like when you trust the divine, that message again, when you put it in God's hands, you can let go and you can really just go on the journey and trust. If you feel and you see and know that it's meant for you and it feels like God is telling you, the divine is saying this is something that's meant for you, and take this for anything and not just conception and the birth of a child, but then you can really surrender it up and you can really trust, and it really can be a divine experience when the time, like trusting in divine timing, it can really be a divine experience, and it can like come about in a way that's not stressful or not weighty or not forceful or overwhelming. Like it can really be something that flows and feels right. And it is all about that surrender and that trusting and knowing you're meant for it, you're worthy of it, and it's possible. So we have the Circle of Life. That's pretty. We have a labyrinth here in the middle of a big field. And then, group number, I want to say 2 got Talking Stick. So Talking Stick and Circle of Life. That energy together, it just feels like you're speaking something into existence. Like you're speaking like I'm thinking like when you think of spells, like you're casting a spell, like you're speaking something into existence. You are the rainmaker, you are the creator. Like I feel like you have limitless potential within you to create and speak love into the world in profound ways. I'm going to pull a couple more cards from the Archangel Animal. See what else comes through. But you are a powerful creator. You really can manifest whatever you choose to manifest. And I do feel like you manifest best when in surrender to the divine, and when what you're creating really, really comes from the divine. When you get those downloads, when you get those epiphanies, when you get that inner knowing of, oh, yes, like this is meant for me. Like that's how you create best. And it comes from like a heart space, an openness, a trust, and you just trust the process. Wow, you have the Whale. Live as a fully conscious being. So Archangels Mary and Jules, maybe those names could be signs for some of you, or confirmation. And then we also, we have the llama, and then we have 2 llamas kissing. That's cute. And Archangel Shamuel, and it says set clear boundaries and enforce them. Interesting. With set clear boundaries and enforce them, and just all this creative energy that's coming through, I'm seeing you crossing a threshold of your creativity where you are able to impact the world in a greater way because of your confidence in the divine working through you. So I know what it feels like to feel intimidated, to create waves, like to have a worrisome feeling around creating waves in the world, like, because that comes with self responsibility. Like, what are you creating? Why are you creating it? Like, if you're making changes in the world, if you're really affecting other people and doing something that creates change around you, there's a responsibility upon that. I feel like a lot of people want to create things for their own personal gain, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But when that's the only goal, I feel like there's an oversight, because I do feel like it's important to keep the collective in mind and have this sense of responsibility when it comes to our creative power, when it comes to making waves in the world, when it comes to changing the world, changing our world even. Knowing that every little thing we do makes an impact, creates change all around us. And there's this inner alignment to destiny, to the truth of your soul, to the purpose of your soul that is really coming through as a fortification for you, as something that helps you feel solid. Knowing that, yes, I know I'm worthy of beautiful things in my own personal life, but with that power that I hold, with my privilege, a lot of us have privileges, others don't. With my privilege, I am going to recognize that we live in, a fallen world. We live in a place where people don't have the same opportunities. We live in a place where people are suffering, and we cannot thrive in a vacuum on an island. And so moving forward, what we're creating has to have that eye on the collective in some way. And how that will manifest through you will be unique to you. And it might not even be like, there's no pressure here to go out and like start a foundation. You know what I mean? How the divine will work through you will be unique to you. It could even just be the way in which you move about the world, the way you speak to the grocery person, like the barista, but it just is, you're going to find that sense of inner confidence and beauty in your life, and knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be at all times through that recognition of the greater whole as just an overarching intention, I guess, moving forward. So that's kind of what's coming through, like with this set clear boundaries and enforce them for whatever reason. It's making me think of also what was coming through right off the bat was a recognition that because you have this integrity and because you have this alignment to the greater whole, and you have the intention to use your privilege and your blessings for good, you feel more confident in like calling out. This is hard to put into words. So like, say you have a magic wand, you're the rainmaker, you can create whatever you want. And say you're just like, I want an ice cream cone, and you just zap an ice cream cone into existence. I don't even know if I can follow this analogy myself. And say that you can basically wield that wand and create any reality you want. Don't you think there's some form of responsibility that comes with that? Okay, no, that's not even the message. Sorry, there is this like subtle message that I'm like having a hard time grasping. Okay, so it has to do with like your audacity to knock down the structures in this world that are not serving humanity from a place of like holy confidence in your mission, in your point of view, in like, it's kind of like when Jesus turned the tables over and threw a fit because of what they turned the temple into. It like they were exploiting. It felt like an exploitation of something holy, and Jesus like turned the tables and called them out. It's kind of like wielding that kind of power, to make a change in the world that will upset those who are clinging to structures that maybe only serve them, or that don't serve anyone, or that are outright hurting others. So I think that's the best way to put it. So harnessing that energy, that eye-opening, awakening energy, and it's fierce and it's powerful and it destroys, but it destroys in a way that is holy. So that type of power is something to wield with great responsibility. That's what I mean. So, wow. And even as I'm saying this, I think I have experienced a shying away from that power, because I used to speak on like higher truths, and I'd call out situations like in the collective, like political things. And, I used to do that a lot online. And I really speak my voice that like cut through the narratives and cut through the bullshit. And I started shying away from that, because the more you do that, the more you recognize, okay, there's a great responsibility in speaking truth and in calling out these things. And it has to be done from a place of like full integrity and full alignment. And I think I kind of sensed that I wasn't ready for that. And I kind of stopped doing that. And like I would, speak on, I used to have a Facebook. I would speak a lot on Facebook, but in my Instagram. And one day I know I want to use my voice for good, but I want to make sure it's in alignment, and I know exactly what I'm being called to say and do, and I let kind of the divine work through me in that way. And lately it's more, I feel called to speak and guide people through these readings. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm kind of building a foundation through this channel first, So anyway, I do believe you're meant to kind of be able to wield that type of power where you can create change in this world. You can speak up and create change, and it's going to annoy some people, basically. And that could be in a small scale or a large scale, whichever you choose. But again, you have such great power to create, and you're just being reminded. It's okay to take your time and align and find that internal space of integrity with where you're going, what you want to do, how you're going to do it, and to take steps with all of that in mind, and just take it one day at a time and build towards that if you need to, however this is landing, let it land. But I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards, some tarot cards now, and see what else comes through. The whale card. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about it, but whales do make me think of like the collective and like the human family. Like whales are very like family oriented. They're very communal, and I think they're very wise divine beings. And let's see what tarot cards. Ooh, okay, here we go. We have, Seven of Wands. Wow, 10 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. Yay! That is just, that's you. Ooh, the Lovers. Nice. Oh, and then 42 reduces to 6, and the Lovers is 6. King of Wands. I wanted to say that earlier with the 6. It is a number of this balance, of scales balancing, harmony. And then, wow, the Tower. That's that destructive energy, like that destructive force. Like you have the power to help destroy the old structures that just aren't serving humanity anymore. And the Lovers can be about choice. It can be about, which I guess we're on YouTube, aren't we? I should cover up the nipples. There we go. The Lovers can be about choice. It can be about the way you choose to move forward. And the Nine of Pentacles is about luxury. It's about self-sovereignty. There is a feeling with the Nine of Pentacles, like you can create any reality you want. You are a divine being who's worthy of living in in beautiful surroundings, of creating wealth for yourself. There's this feeling satiated energy, like I am allowed to feel good in my body. I'm allowed to feel good in my environment. I'm allowed to embrace abundance. There's something there, like in the Lovers too. I always get this feeling of feeling really good in your body and feeling really connected to the earth plane and feeling really balanced with that card as well. And maybe some of you with the Lovers have a partnership that is helping you and like you have a mission together. I like that there are peace lilies surrounding the Lovers too. That's nice. Like a peaceful union. That's the energy that's coming through. 2552 mirroring numbers as I looked up at the camera timer. So there could be a potential partnership, or maybe you already are in one that is aligned with your mission, aligned with your purpose on this planet. And maybe some of you are even waiting to be in this partnership before things move, like as far as like a greater purpose, as far as like this deeper sense of responsibility in what you're creating in the world. There could be people that need to come in first, and it could be this group effort or like a duo kind of thing. It does kind of feel like people coming in. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting with the King of Wands over here too, like looking this way. I think the King of Wands is associated with, well, it's a fire. It could be fire signs, could be significant. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. With the Seven of Wands next to the Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands is about like working hard, caring, but like working towards burnout. It's that idea. Like a lot of society has this feeling or this weird false belief, which is absurd if you think about it, that in order to be worthy of the wealth and abundance, the love, I just see you living in like even a luxurious type of lifestyle where you have everything you need and more. Like you embrace this abundance, you embrace pleasure, you embrace love, and you're contented and happy and fulfilled. And you're doing so unapologetically. And I think society can tell us, or maybe we've grown up with, or maybe you've grown up with that ingrained in you that in order to be worthy of that abundance, you must work yourself to burnout. You must work yourself, overwork yourself. You have to earn it in some way. And this new energy you're embracing is this natural, inherent abundance that just is, and you standing firm in that. So you are moving forward as an example of someone who stands fully in your divine inheritance of abundance and is still connected to the reality that you have a responsibility to use your privilege and your blessings to make the world a better place and to make the world an even playing field, to help make the world an even playing field for others. Because you know deep down that everyone is inherently worthy of abundance. And so part of your mission, part of your like divine inheritance, part of your destiny in this lifetime is to experience this abundance, is to experience true freedom, true freedom of time, true financial freedom, creative freedom. And you are meant to show others and guide others in how they can attain that as well. So you're helping to shift the consciousness of humanity, since like their sense of our sense of worthiness in who we are and what we deserve, but from this deeply profound place of integrity, and responsibility. And that is the best thing you can do, because I do think a lot of people want to create abundance out of escapism. They just want to create like an insulated place for themselves and, protect themselves, damn the rest of the world. And that's not true protection. Those aren't just boundaries. That's like escapism. And you will not be someone who does that. Part of your fulfillment, part of what brings you joy, part of what brings you a feeling of satisfaction with who you are, what you're doing on this planet, is when you confront the world and when you bring love and abundance and compassion to those who need it most. That is like the ultimate fulfillment for you. And so it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You are this ever-flowing spring. You are this, like the rainmaker. You are the rainmaker. You can make it rain for, like, in the most parched places on earth. So in the most thirsty of human beings, you can make it rain for them. So, and you do it. That's your that's part of your purpose. So there is something here with the King of Wands, and I see an energy or a person coming in to help you fulfill your mission. Someone who sees you. There could be like investors, or just a powerful person who sees what you're doing, who you are. They trust in your goals and your mission and your vision, and they help you bring it to life. So that could be a collection of people, or a person in particular. But I do see one day like you having more support than you ever dreamed of to help this collective vision, because it's not only your vision that you see for humanity and for the earth, it's collective. So if you keep moving towards your goals and have that rooted sense of knowing what you want to see change in this world, and know that, and keep that in mind the entire time as you're moving forward. Keep it as a part of your manifestation journey, your life creation journey. It will come to fruition. Even your craziest dreams, even the biggest ones, even the ones that seem so far-fetched and so out there, the vision you see for humanity, know that it's all possible and it's all true, and it's so worth going after, because you will plant seeds for trees that you will never rest under, It will be for those who come after you, and you find fulfillment in that. That is what makes you feel good about your life, and knowing that you're leaving something beautiful behind. I feel like your existence with the Tower card and with that energy of when I was talking about utilizing that power that destroys, I feel like you stepping into your truth and your light and your mission and your integrity and holding on to your vision for the collective, while also maintaining your worthiness of your own simple luxury and abundance. That is literally, you are the disruptor by embodying that, period. And that's why sometimes when you step into your power, and King of Wands is this masculine like power, and the wand feels like it's like this magical wand, like I'm just going to make something happen unapologetically. And it can be on that journey of invoking that inner power. It can be uncomfortable at times, because it's totally pushing like all your comforts, like your inner comforts, like the insulation you've had around you that keeps you feeling safe in a smaller place, and also knowing you're going to be a disruptor. Like inherently, you stepping into your light and your power and your mission is disrupting. So you feel that, that in your cells. And so it can feel uncomfortable. Like, it's like, how some people are uncomfortable taking up more space, being louder. It's kind of like that. That the more you embody who you truly are, the more it will like be this tornado that like kind of flattens things that aren't meant to be, that aren't good for humanity. It doesn't hurt anyone. It does the opposite. it may feel like it could hurt, but you're just coming from such a place of surrender to the divine will that it won't, and you can know that. And that's why there's like, it's good to have that detachment and that surrender ultimately every step of the way. So you are a powerful change maker, and that's something you can choose to step into or not, but I don't see you not choosing it in some way or another. And again, this can be, you can have major impact in the world that is like far reaching and you can see, but this could also be very subtle. And it's going to be different for each person. But the journey feels like this, stepping into power and integrity and aligning to your mission and your purpose. And even though that feels uncomfortable, you do it anyway. That ultimately is like the path. So, okay. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then I have a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and I will read from the guidebook for that. Let's see what we have for maybe just 2 or 3 cards from this deck. Okay, so, ooh, nice. We have the 6 of Wands, which is a card of victory. And wow, we have, I think I'm going to pull 3. We have the Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. And we have the 6 of Cups. Interesting. I kind of wanted to be reversed a little bit. Yeah, let's do reverse. Why not? Ooh, reversed. There's a tree and the roots are up. It's like uprooting something. That's interesting. Ooh, what are we uprooting? Because 6 of Wands is success and victory. Knight of Wands is like action, swift action, inspiration, forward movement, charging ahead towards something. But the Knight, like the snake here, is looking at this uprooted tree. So what are we uprooting? That's interesting. What are you uprooting in your life? It almost, even with the colors and the roots, it almost feels like it's on fire. Ooh, well, 6 of Cups is about the past, and it can be about childhood. This feels like burning up the roots of your past, burning up the places in your soul that have been holding you back and holding you in comfort and keeping you small. There could be experiences from your childhood where your voice was silenced, where you were kept small. And I just feel like no more. Like we are not doing this anymore. We are burning up those ways. And 6 of Wands is about being seen. Like I am ready to be seen. We have this beautiful blue butterfly here. Like I am out of the cocoon and I am flying. And I am okay with being seen. I am okay with standing out from the rest of my environment. I am above the fray here. I'm ready to strike and claim what is not only mine, but what is good and holy and pure for humanity and for the world. I'm ready to use the power I truly, truly wield, that I truly have and has been given to me by the divine. I'm feeling an energy of protecting children too. There's an energy of safety and protection around children. Maybe this is protecting your inner child. But ultimately, we're burning up old ways and we're unapologetic about it. And we're planting ourselves in our integrity and our truth. And yeah, just speaking truth into existence, into the material world. And kind of like, damn the consequences. I trust what's coming through me. It's like at this point, I have to say something. At this point, I have to do something. At this point, it's no longer me. It's something animating me. And I'm going to, and then the Son of Wands, the Knight of Wands can be staying alert. The snake looks very alert, like staying alert and being ready to say something or do something when the time comes, recognizing that there will be opportunities to wield this holy power. And not only to call something out or to tear something down that needs to be teared down, but to create something and speak something beautiful into existence, whether it's for others or literally just for yourself in your world, and claiming something for yourself without guilt. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to pull one last card from the Sacred Rebels. We will read from the guidebook, and then we will get into my intentions for you for the infinite prayer. So this didn't feel directly related to boundaries, but interesting. I mean, you did get the boundary card, the Seven of Wands. But it feels like, I just feel like I just want to give you confirmation that you're doing great with your boundaries, and that ultimately aligning to this integrity, this is almost like you're like breaking down boundaries as opposed to putting them up. Like you're having more audacity to tear down structures. Like, so it feels like the opposite almost. Like maybe you've almost been too walled off, or you've been too protective, or you've been like too closed up in your boundaries, and now it's time to break out and really truly claim your space. Okay, here we go. We have, seriously, come on. Number 4, it says against the grain. Yep. Okay. It still blows my mind that how aligned these final messages are when I pull them. So let's see what the guidebook has to say. Okay. Against the grain. Number 4. 4 is a very solid rooted number too, by the way. You want birds to be able to fly underwater. You want love to trump power. You want humanity to relate to each other as equals and to recognize the sacredness in you and in the world around you. You want to unleash the beauty that hides in even the ugliest of scenes or sentiments. You want to make possible what others say cannot be. You are a radical dreamer, a sacred rebel, and you bring the light of a more positive future to this world. However, this can have its burdens. Deep within, you may feel that you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. Perhaps your sense of how things can be and how they really are is so different to the smaller minds or more fearful hearts of many others that you are rarely received for all that you offer. This may make you feel frustrated, thwarted, or lonely at times. The universe so loves you for your unusual take on things, for the quirkiness in you that dares to honor that which is different and renders the impossible possible. You must never, ever lose your unusual ways and become dry, serious, appropriate, and conventional, not even for appearance's sake, for you would lose your essence. You're here to show that life is about so much more than conventional success. This oracle comes with a special message for you. You are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You need to lose yourself to the flow of music, nature, dreams, imagination, and fantasy through art and literature, meditation, dance, and in sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It is just your way. You are not one of the followers, but one of the agitators. However, yours is not a force for disrespectful chaos. You are a loving catalyst, and by simply being yourself, you constantly remind people that there is always another way. This oracle comes with a particular guidance that you are meant to be exactly as you are. You are meant to be the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, or even the wild wolf in the flock of sheep. The daring butterfly spirit calling to the caterpillars, that is you. The price you pay for the gift of individuality is that you must take care of it and guard it so that you are not dulled down and conditioned into playing at being something you are not. If this has happened or is threatening to happen, this oracle brings you comfort. You will always dream of birds that fly underwater. You know that the true nature of your being can never be changed. At most, it could only be hidden for a time. Now is the time to accept who you are and allow your truths to be freely expressed. Don't worry about the effects of going against the grain. When we are who we are in truth, we attract the support, protection, and energy that we need to thrive. Your power comes from aligning your outward self with your inner truth, not with the general consensus. You will then find other dreamers, other wild butterflies, and atypically colored sheep to join you in conjuring better visions for our world. This is amazing. Healing process. So do this or not, whatever you feel called. But it says close your eyes and relax. Take 7 deep breaths in and out as you bring your awareness into your body and the space that exists within your body. When you are relaxed, imagine, sense, or perceive a winding river of golden light that starts below your feet. Sense it gathering there as a pool of liquid golden energy. It has intelligence of its own, and it winds its way into beautiful patterns before you, flowing with grace and playfulness. This river of light symbolizes your life journey. Just notice it and enjoy it. See that your life journey is unique. You may focus on your own river of life or expand your awareness to sense the rivers of light that represent the journeys of those around you. You may see, sense, or feel that their paths are unique to them also. No one has the exact same journey to take, even though we are all heading towards the one destination of absolute love. Say the following out loud or to yourself. I honor myself. I honor the truth that I express through my very being. I accept the protection that I am offered so that I may go against the grain from a place of love and as an invitation for others to be open to life. So be it. When you are ready, simply open your eyes and sit quietly with your hand on your heart for a moment. You have completed your healing process. Wow, that was perfect. Okay, group number 3 for the infinite prayer session. My intention for you. Okay, so yeah, I write little prompts for each one. And for you, it doesn't feel like a little prompt. It feels so big for you, but it's hard to put into words just the energy that's emerging within you. But I wrote down, deepen into the truth that you are trusted with great power. You are a change maker by simply being you. So with group number 1, I wrote power of the heart, move from head to heart. Allow the mind to truly surrender to the heart's ways. And group number 2, I wrote it is safe to enter the void. Allow the love to permeate the grounds you walk on. So there was a springtime, a brand new energy there. And then again, with you, it's deepen into that truth that you are trusted with great power and you are a change maker by being you. Okay, so if you feel called to that infinite prayer session, again, the link will be down below. If you want the 50% off, the overflow membership is where you would get access to the infinite prayer session. The code will be down below, but again, subscribe to my channel. There will be another opportunity if you missed this one. And thank you so much. I am honored by your presence. Drop a flower emoji, leave a comment, and check out my outro if you'd like to hear more about just other ways I can support you. Thank you so much. Bye. If you'd like to be supported more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick a flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of the Little Flower Patreon. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. Each month in the Wellspring membership, I channel a theme or prompt for 2 new Pick a Flower readings, with one of those readings laying the foundation for what emerges in the infinite prayer. Using Reiki, prayer, intuitively guided affirmations, and a belief in miracles, I offer a new, powerful transmission each month. With the Overflow membership, receive everything in Wellspring, plus access to every new extended infinite prayer session drawn from monthly YouTube readings from October 2025 on. Click the link in the description box below if you feel called to explore. Feel free to like, comment, drop a flower emoji, or subscribe to The Little Flower. You may browse single infinite prayer transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo with the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip or buy me a coffee if you feel called to. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, my heart and soul in video form. I'd be honored to have you over there as well. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved.